All right, I am with David W. Crockett, right?
Yes.
And we're here at we're going up to the Hermit Cave. We just came across his property that I went and asked for permission, and he so kindly volunteered to take me up here. And the story that's on the internet is not true about this place that we're going to. Anyway, he's going to describe what this is actually about.
Well, my dad's first cousin, would be my second cousin, dug this hole in the ground, and about early 1960s, I don't remember exactly when. I think I was in high school when he was working on it, and he lived in it for 4 or 5 years, I think, and then he died in 1966 is when he passed away. And he wasn't exactly a hermit. It's just a half a mile or less to where my grandmother's home used to be, and she was his aunt. And since his childhood, he'd spent a lot of time with my dad's family. So that was like a second home for him.
Okay, so he's the one that dug this.
Yeah, he's the one that dug it out. Yeah, and before he lived in it, he lived in a tiny little trailer house that he parked down there below my grandmother's house. And so he would come up here every day and work on his dugout until he finally moved into it.
Okay.
But even after he had it dug out here, he would go down to my grandma's house and watch a football game on TV or take a bath and read the newspaper, and then had a canteen that he'd fill up with water and bring it up every time he'd make a trip. And so he would keep a little water supply here because he had no water.
And your wife was saying that he had plans to bring up electricity and all that stuff. Is that right?
I don't know about electricity, but he had a little miniature well rig that he had been working on drilling a well just beside his dugout. And his plan was to have water right there and then have it piped right into his dugout.
Awesome.
But he passed away before he ever got that
Okay.
completed. But there are some little holes in the wall where he showed me he was intending to make connections for his water system.
You're gonna have to go online and look at all the different videos of people that have been there and their stories that they come up with, because they're outlandish.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right, let's go up there and check it out. All right, we are approaching the dugout.
If you can't see very well, but there's a whole platform here. All this mound here.
Uh-huh.
This is all white dirt when it was fresh and new. This whole area here was a pile from the level of the bottom of the draw.
Yep.
Here it was all just white dirt he hauled out of there.
Wow.
When he was doing the doorway, he said he would blast a little bit with some dynamite, just a little bit. But once he got into the doorway, he didn't want to shake anything.
Uh-huh.
So we did it all with pick and shovel.
Wow.
And it's all in sandstone. There's kind of a reddish sandstone and a white gray sandstone. So it's porous and it's not real hard, but it's pretty firm, good insulation. And this was clean and flat right down there. People have rolled rocks in here and stuff just to make a mess out of it.
Huh.
He used to have a little, well, I'd come up and visit him every once in a while, so he'd always show me the new stuff that he'd done, or how things were. He had a little cooling box there to keep fresh vegetables in there.
Uh-huh.
He had a screen across the front and just a little box there. Because it was in the dirt, it would sort of keep cool.
Sure.
And
that is fascinating. Where did he get all his ideas from?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he lived with civilized people.
I have a flashlight here.
Somewhat, and so he had an idea about a lot of things, but he'd done some mining.
Okay.
When he was younger in Nevada.
All right.
And learned about digging holes and living in a kind of a primitive way. but he liked to read, and he was an intelligent person. He just kind of liked being by himself.
Yeah.
But this was the kitchen area.
Okay.
And right now the rats have nests of junk everywhere. They're packing sagebrush, crumbs, make a real good mess. But this area, there was a little cupboard here for silverware and utensils,
Okay.
and a covered top. And he had a plastic surface here and on these walls, and this whole area here, these little tacks, were because he had either tinfoil or plastic covering his whole kitchen area,
All right.
so he wouldn't have any crumbs or dirt anywhere. It was really neat and clean.
Good deal.
And that was a little cabinet for a few dishes. And then he had a wood stove right here, and that the chimney hole
Okay.
goes out there, and this was a window. It was cleaned out, so there was a window right here, and just enough space to let some light come in.
Yeah.
Not very much, but a little bit light would come in from this window.
Fascinating.
And that, I think he just had to stockpile a little bit of firewood.
Okay.
The year that he died, he had raised a tobacco plant. He liked to chew tobacco,
Okay.
and he hated spending money on anything. So he'd always look for a cheap way to do something.
Sure.
And the year that he passed away, he'd raised a big, tall tobacco plant down by my grandma's house. And I went on a mission in September, and in fact, he died.
LDS Church?
Yeah, LDS Church. I was in Provo when he passed away.
Okay.
So I just got the report of his death. And I visited him up until just before I left. But he showed me his tobacco plant. He'd had it hanging upside down here to dry.
Okay.
And that was going to be his tobacco supply for a long time.
Wow.
He was not able to use it. But anyway, I thought it was interesting.
Yep.
This was his bedroom over here. And if you want to go up and look both ways, it's just a little cased-in place. That's where his bed was. And I'm not sure if those holes were intended to be
These ones right
future
here?
water holes. I'm thinking maybe they were just air vent holes. I don't know. He knew how to drill holes in rock and stuff, and those holes connect to the hallway back this other way.
Totally fascinating.
And this part here, well, before I show you that, he had several little cubby holes like this
Okay.
with shelves on them that he kept bottles of fruit or cans of food, just for food storage, on these little side pockets like this. And this right here looked just like those. You can see shelves here
Okay.
with the back about here, and it just looked like it was one of these. Well, after he died, sometime, because I didn't know it till later, somebody discovered there was a false back, and he had to go ahead and step in there. There's a couple little rooms in there where he had something. I don't know what he had, but he didn't have very many possessions. I know he had the guns, and he had some arrowheads that he'd collected in his lifetime.
Oh, yeah?
And so he didn't really have, I guess there's really not
Not a lot of room in here.
space here, but there was something else here that was hidden, whatever it was.
Huh.
It was hidden behind this false back.
Wow, he did a lot of digging, didn't he?
Yeah, he just worked a little bit at a time. He didn't ever overexert himself, but he just kept working on something. And then right here, see there's a hole.
Okay.
I think that was going to be a connection to his water system. I think that's what he told me.
Man, it just keeps on going and going, don't it?
And that's the hole, one of the holes. I think it goes to the where his bed place is. And then
And my little brothers would have a tough time getting in here.
yeah.
They're all over 6 feet.
It's not very big, but see, he had these channels along here,
Okay.
and there's a hole going somewhere. And he had a plan for all this, but part of it may have been just an air vent thing, and part of it just for a water plan.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where his well thing was, but I think it was just a little ways behind right here.
All right.
And I can't find anything up on the ground now,
Okay.
but at the way back when he passed away, there was still a little piece of pipe or something there where he had
All right.
been working on doing a well. But
Well,
you can see the pick marks.
Yep.
The whole place looked kind of like it is here, just little pick marks, but otherwise a fairly clean surface. And people have come in here and built fires and written on the wall or scratched on things,
Ooh, that changed.
rocks in. But it is still what it was.
Yeah. This is totally fascinating.
He was very economical minded. I'd come up here to visit him, and he would have a flashlight, a candle on the table, and he'd take his flashlight and he'd just turn it on and off, show me something.
There you go.
He didn't just leave it on. He would just flash it for a couple of seconds
Saving that battery.
to show me what he had done recently, and I'd comment on it, and then he'd show me something else, but he wouldn't just keep his light on.
Wow. How fun is that?
But he was an interesting person. I mean, I was just a young kid, and I kind of idolized him in some ways.
How old did he live to be?
Well, I think he was born in 1900. I think he was 66,
Okay.
and he died in 1966.
Wow.
About that, he taught me how he tanned buckskin and showed me how to dry fruits. He'd take these window screens and just break apricots or prunes in half and spread them out on one screen and put another screen on top of it, and then put them out on some cinder blocks or something out in the sun and dry them, and then he would package them up and save them.
Awesome.
I mean, it was just fascinating to me that he
It is. It's very
things
fascinating.
like that.
You know, he lived through the Depression era,
Yeah, he would have come from that time.
and so he was very thrifty and saving everything.
He'd spent much of his life just living real simple and cheap. He worked for the cattle association that's local here.
Okay.
Sometimes he would go do a little bit of part-time work for them. He was a good cook. And once in a while, when they had to have a big roundup deal up in the mountains, with different people come to ride for several days in a row, that sometimes they'd hire him to come and cook for the crew for 2 or 3 days.
Oh, how cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I surely appreciate you bringing us up here.
Well, I appreciate you looking for the real story. It may not be very romantic, but it's interesting, and it's
fascinating.
what really happened.
Exactly.
He was very careful to keep this hidden. When he was alive, maybe once a year, he would drive around down there and come up this way in his pickup with a load of firewood, willows, something. But otherwise, he would just walk up and down this draw to where my mailbox is to go to my grandmother's house and come back. But he had just a little foot trail, and I thought it was humorous, but he had 2 or 3 sticks laying across the trail.
Oh, yeah?
And I said, "What's the deal with this?" "No, I'll just have a stumbling block for anybody that wants to come along." It was just kind of a camouflage. He didn't want anybody to think it was an official human trail,
Exactly.
I guess.
Huh.
He just didn't really want anybody to find this.
Fascinating.
And only family members knew he was here until he was gone. So he had an independent life and
Totally different story
didn't have to pay any taxes on it.
than what's on the internet. All right, let me pause this thing.